Well, we're here at Goodwood 2017, and this is the place most people want to look at, I think. The Michelin Supercar paddock, and we're here for our top picks with Erin Baker.
Yep, we certainly are. And funnily enough, one of my top picks is standing right behind us. This is the crazy Aston Martin Vulcan AMR Pro. As if the standard Vulcan wasn't enough for you, with 800 brake horsepower. They've now done the AMR Pro. AMR, of course, is Aston's sub-brand that came out this year. And it normally includes a power and hike as well as a handling hike, but because this has already got 800 brake horsepower, they've just done aerodynamics on it.
And this thing is just bonkers, isn't it? If the original Vulcan wasn't crazy enough, this is like the crazy car on performance-enhancing jugs, isn't it? It's just
and I
mad.
mean, it's Now this might be my pick of the Michelin Supercar paddock. It's the Elemental RP1. I drove it at Goodwood not so long ago. It's lightweight, it's your classic British, low volume, lightweight sports car for the track, also road legal. It's going to come with a windscreen, which believe me, at high speeds is going to help. I was getting quite blasted, but it's a load of fun. It's got Ford's 2-litre EcoBoost engine in it. 0 to 60 is sub 3 seconds because it's really light. And the best thing I think was the sequential gearbox. You just blatted through the gears and it was just, I mean, it was ferocious.
Well, this car is going to make my list probably for the simple reason I was frankly quite impressed to actually see one here with what's gone on in the last few weeks. It's probably the most famous car in the world with Hammond's little incident. And the last time we saw it was in a ball of flames at the bottom of a hill. But this thing is really impressive. I mean, obviously, ultra low drag and crucially electric powertrain. I mean, is this the future? A motor on each wheel. It's probably embarrassed everything in the paddock on its 0 to 60 time. And horsepower wise, we're over 1200. So, giving the Chiron a good run for its money. And I just think, it's a good looking car. And, it might be the brave new world.
Now we're outside the 720S McLaren part of the Michelin Supercar paddock, but this is, as well as being a sexy car, it's a clever car. Like if we get down and look at these headlights, they've got these fantastic LED strips in it, but see, it's a whole part. You talk about Bauhaus, function and form following design. This is a great big duct basically for channeling more airthrough, and this is an absolute beast on the track.
And I think it's a little bit almost modest by some of the other cars and engines and figures we're looking at in this paddock, but I've got to include the 488 because as a child of the 70s, the supercar for me is a mid-engined car and it's got a Ferrari badge on the front when I was a child. And I just think this car has an amazing heritage. It's got a bloodline that goes right back to some fantastic predecessors. And I think it's just wonderful shape, form and function. We have to include this Ford GT in our supercar picks. It's just a fantastic car, and I've actually had the pleasure of driving this particular car when it first came into the country. Phenomenally quick, and it's really focused car. I mean, it's got the 3.5 EcoBoost V6 in the back, light, carbon tub, carbon chassis. In track mode, it just drops down, almost like it's on air jacks. I mean, it's just incredibly well focused. Yeah. There has been a little bit of talk of being almost too harsh for the road, but I took this out and it's an absolute pussycat at slow speeds until you really get on it. So I think they've done a fantastic job of it. And of course, it comes with such an amazing backstory. So I drove this car from London to Goodwood, and having driven the Veyron, you think that's just at the pinnacle of power and performance. And to be beating the Veyron in almost every department, this car is just simply astonishing. I mean, the numbers alone, 1,500 horsepower, 8-litre, W16, quad turbo. The thing is just absolutely mind-blowing. But the best thing about it, having driven it, is the traction. I mean, there's no point in having all them horses if you can't put them on the road.
Yeah.
And this thing just takes all the power and just shoves you forward in a way you can't even comprehend. It's incredible. Probably the daddy of the supercars, you have to say, or hypercar as we now have to call them.